from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, September 29th, 2015. I'm at Gary Perna in for Ann Gownley. A 22-year-old from Nanticoke was arrested after stealing a purse from an 87-year-old woman in the parking lot of Macy's store in Wilkes-Barre Township. 22-year-old Anthony Carantini forcibly stole a purse from the arm of an 87-year-old woman who was walking to her vehicle. He ran up to her, grabbed the purse from her arm, and fled through the parking lot. The male was found hiding under a trash compactor at the rear of the Sears store. Carantini was taken into custody by police. The victim was treated at the scene for minor injuries to her arm and was released. The suspect was charged with robbery, simple assault, theft by unlawful taking, disorderly conduct, and harassment. He was arraigned before District Justice Swank. He was sent to the Luzerne County Prison in lieu of $50,000 bail. Well, Wilkes-Barre police are investigating a holdup. It happened at about 4:20 Monday afternoon at the PSC gas station on South Main Street. That's right across the street from Abe's Hot Dogs. The assailant walked in, pushed with a knife, demanded money, and got some and took off. The suspect is a white male about 5 feet 9 inches tall with red hair, wearing a gray knitted hat. If you have any information on this holdup, you're being asked to call Wilkes-Barre City Police. State police say a man and a woman from Schuylkill County were charged at least $145,000 on cloned credit cards. 43-year-old Carrie Acker and 32-year-old Mario Valentine, both of Shenandoah, were arrested Friday. Troopers say the pair made bogus credit cards using stolen information from people in eastern Pennsylvania. After state police searched their home, they allegedly found fake cards, a scanner, and a laptop used to steal information. Both are locked up in the Schuylkill County Prison tonight. Well, police say a woman evicted from an apartment by the landlord burned the building down in August. Police charged Marion Pasquinquinio with first-degree arson. It happened on August 13th after crews got the fire out. A state police fire marshal determined that the fire started on a second-floor hallway from mattresses that were intentionally lit on fire. The building's owner, Michael Hudak, told officers that Pasquinquinio to leave the home about a month before because she was behind on her rent. The marshal found surveillance video from a nearby home which showed Pasquinquinio's car leaving the scene at 6:09 a.m., a minute before the county's 911 center got a call reporting the fire. She faces 3 counts of arson, 1 count each of reckless burning and criminal mischief. She is in the Luzerne County Prison on $100,000 bail. Well, child pornography charges have been dropped against a Freeland man who was found in possession of nearly 24 images. State prosecutors will not pursue the charges, saying that a county judge decided to invalidate a search warrant that left them with no evidence for the trial. 36-year-old Anthony Stefanik was charged with 22 counts of possession of child pornography and 1 count of criminal use of a communication facility. He was arrested last October. According to his attorney, investigators failed to link the listed Internet Protocol addresses with Stefanik's physical address, stating that it was an error in the investigation. The order to dismiss the case has not yet been signed. Stefanik was released from jail on $100,000 bail shortly after his arrest. Well, today, Governor Tom Wolf vetoed the Republicans' stopgap budget as promised. Governor Wolf vetoed the $11 billion stopgap budget that originated in Republicans' control of the Pennsylvania Senate. Wolf called the Republican leadership to get serious about negotiations on a final budget that will move the state forward. As of today, the state has gone without a budget for 91 days and counting, and it does not look like there's going to be a budget in the near future. Attorney General Kathleen Kane can remain in office even with a suspended law license. That's the ruling from State Supreme Court Judge Justice Thomas Saylor. He ruled over the High Court's decision to suspend Kane's law license is in no way unconstitutional, disabling her. He said Kane remains a member of the Pennsylvania Bar Association of Pennsylvania, a requirement under the state constitution for anyone to be Attorney General. He said that because the suspension is temporary, Saylor wouldn't say whether he believes Kane should remain in office, though. The Supreme Court suspended Kane's law license as a result of the criminal charges she's facing in the case involving leaking grand jury information. She has pled not guilty to those charges and is fighting them. Well, time now for our first look at our forecast. 2 or more inches of rain is expected to hit our area late tonight. The first time in almost a year that we can expect heavy rain like this. So what can we expect overnight? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacic is in the Weather Center with those details. Joe?
It's been quite some time since we had a good drenching rain, if you will, across our area, and that's what we're going to be seeing as we head through tonight and as we even go into the first part of tomorrow. Still got those flood watches in effect across our viewing area because of the heavy rain that will be coming into our area. Some rain coming into our area right now. Some of it is relatively light so far, but it will start to pick up in intensity across our region. And notice these temperatures this morning actually were fairly mild for the most part, dropping down into the 60s, and right now temperatures generally holding in the lower 70s and upper 60s. Of the complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, a longtime roadmaster is stepping down after years of service to a local community. Plus, Joe's in with weather, and Eric has sports. Stay with us.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, weather with meteorologist Joe Garbacic, sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin.
Are you tired of your old car? Independence Toyota Scion in the Airport Beltway in Hazleton has an incredible spring savings deal for you. It's Chris Stash's Cash for Clunkers time. $3,000 minimum pre-owned trade-in allowance. Chris doesn't care if you push that old clunker in, pull that tired old clunker in, get it there any way you can and trade it for a car you'll love to drive. Over 80 pre-owned vehicles are available, all inspected, detailed, and ready to go. Independence Toyota Scion in Hazleton for exceptional service, the best selection of vehicles, and a minimum trade-in allowance of $3,000 for your clunker. Stop in and see Chris and his friendly team today. The Wiltsey Center presents an evening at the Summit with Frank, Dean, and Sammy, October 10th, 7 p.m. at the Wiltsey Center in Hazleton. The Rat Pack is back through the talent and stylings of these 3 seasoned East Coast performers. Come enjoy the 1960s Kings of the Las Vegas Strip. Tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com and any Ticketmaster location. It's an evening at the Summit with Frank, Dean, and Sammy, October 10th at 7 p.m. at the Wiltsey Center in Hazleton.
Longtime roadmaster for Hazel Township, Andy Benio, is retiring after a quarter-century with the township. Andy Benio has been at the helm of the Hazel Township's road department for more than 20 years. He has seen the township grow leaps and bounds and has been front and center for some major growth in the township, including the growth of Community Park and the industrial parks.
Well, I'm 70 years old, and I think it's time to retire and get some young, fresh blood in here with, new ideas. It never hurts, and see what happens.
Benio has served as township supervisor for 18 consecutive years, starting in 1987. Then he served again in 2011 to fill a vacancy.
I was supervisor for 18 years, and then one of the supervisors resigned, and I filled his 3-year term, so it'll be 21 years as supervisor and approximately 27 years with the road department.
The 70-year-old and his wife Judy plan to move to Cumberland County, where their daughter lives, and spend more time with her and their son, who is currently serving in Afghanistan.
My daughter's down in the Camp Hill area, and we wanted to move closer to either my son or my daughter. But being my son's in the Army, he gets transferred from here to there. We'd be moving 30 times probably in a decade. So we decided, and my son also helped us in the decision to move down by my daughter.
Benio said one of the hardest parts of the job was plowing snow in the winter.
Well, the difficulty is if you put in an 8-hour shift and the snow comes 2 or 3 hours, or ice comes 2 or 3 hours after your shift ends, you got to come back down and possibly put in another 6, 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever it takes. That's the hard part of the job.
Hazel Township Supervisor Bill Gallagher, who has worked with Benio for years, said he will miss working with him and talking with him on a daily basis.
Andy has announced his retirement effective, I guess, tomorrow, the end of the month. We had been discussing it for quite a while, and he felt it was time. He wanted to move down closer to his daughter, and it's going to be a great loss for Hazel Township. It'll be a loss. You know, Andy was always available for everybody. He was available basically 24 hours a day. If you had a problem, Andy was the go-to person. I know myself, you know, Andy and I have been friends for probably over 30 years, and I had I was fortunate enough to take Andy's seat when he retired from being a supervisor and maintained his roadmastership. But we've been friends a long time, and I'm definitely going to miss Andy as a friend and as a colleague. And I think the whole area will miss Andy for his knowledge of the municipal workings of the area.
Gallagher and Benio have worked together on a number of projects over the past 20-plus years.
We worked on everything together. We worked on probably 25 years ago, we walked along the railroad tracks between 309 and 93, and Andy always said he'd like to have a road out there to go to Community Park, and that was one of the things that was something he always wanted to see, and I'm glad that we got it in. We didn't get all of it in, but it's there, and that was probably one of the things that Andy and I worked on the most was Hazel Township Boulevard, Community Park Boulevard. But Andy did a lot of things. You know, he when he started, the township was wasn't a very big township in regards to industry or housing developments, and we've seen a huge increase in the amount of Fortune 500 companies that have come in. And Andy worked with those, and was able to maintain the road network for people to get to work. And yeah, it's going to be hard shoes to fill.
So how does the township move forward with Benio retiring?
Well, I'm sure that Jimmy, Butchie, and I will be sitting down and we'll be asking for some resumes and looking to see if we can find a qualified person that will be able to assume the job. It's a big job. There's 135 miles of roads, 52 square miles around. You have to handle a lot of situations on a daily basis, and we'll take our time. Gary's going to fill in for now, and I'm still in charge of the road department as a supervisor, so we'll work around it for now, and hopefully when the time comes, we'll make a decision.
As for Andy, he has this to say to the residents of Hazel Township.
No, I just like to thank the people for putting up with me for as long as they have. I enjoyed working with 99% of the people in the township. They're great people. And all in all, it was a good run.
And best wishes to Andy. Well, staying in Hazel Township tonight, the old Zola's lamppost on Route 940 in Harley will not become a drug rehab clinic. Luzerne County Judge Michael Vo denied an appeal. Earlier this year, the Hazel Township Zoning Board denied the application for a special exemption to open the clinic there. At the time, one of the 4 partners that were proposing the clinic was Dr. Jude Sederi, who said that the need for a clinic in the greater Hazelton area was through the roof. The area is zoned residential. Now, they appealed and denied to the county court. Those proposing this clinic could appeal to the Commonwealth Court. Well, the city of Wilkes-Barre's health department has announced their 2015 flu vaccination clinic schedule. The list is up here on your screen right now. The clinics are free and available to Wilkes-Barre city residents only with proof of residency. All flu vaccination clinics will be offered at the Kirby Health Center located at 71 North Franklin Street in Wilkes-Barre, with the exception of the one taking place on October 29th at the Farmers Market. Anyone with any questions about this can call the Wilkes-Barre City Health Department at 570-208-4268. Stay with us here in WILN. Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik's back with your forecast.
One of the largest fairs on the East Coast, the 160th Bloomsburg Fair, September 26th to October 3rd. Enjoy a full lineup of entertainment and great shows. Cinderella carriage rides daily, agricultural displays, competitive livestock shows, the Big Cat Encounter, and sky rides. The fair barns include over 1,400 animals. Always a wide variety of food vendors. Visit us online at bloomsburgfair.com or call 570-784-4949.
Penn State is right here in the Hazelton area.
we're top ranked by corporate recruiters.
We have 4-year degrees, so you can finish here
or at another Penn State campus.
There's new scholarship money available.
And there's no application fee when you visit here.
Penn State Hazleton.
Download your application fee waiver at psu.edu/visit Hazleton.
Len and Jim Thorpe stopped by two businesses owned by the McBride family. 33 years ago, Tom and Betty McBride opened the Treasure Shop at 44 Broadway. The Treasure Shop specializes in Irish imports and gifts made in the USA, all at great prices. In 1991, their daughter Peggy purchased the shop, and Tom and Betty bought the Old Jail Museum. Learn about the Molly Maguires and see the mysterious handprint on the wall. The tours run every weekend in September and October, and in October there are special evening ghost tours. Be sure to stop by the Treasure Shop and the Old Jail Museum.
Well, the stage is set for some soaking rain across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. In fact, the rainfall amounts will even be significantly higher as you head towards central Pennsylvania. But nevertheless, we're going to see a pretty good amount of rain across our area. And even right now, the rain is coming down fairly light right now, and the winds are relatively light. And again, we have overcast skies, and temperature-wise, it's going to get cool over the next couple of days. So let's get right to the graphic for today. And we're going to have to deal with those rain showers and periods of rain on and off. And as we go into tonight and the first part of tomorrow morning, a steady soaking rain will be developing across our area, which it is right now, moving into our region. And there you can see live 35 Skycast Doppler, the yellows indicating the heavier rain that is falling down through the Shenandoah area, Schuylkill County. And we're going to be looking at periods of heavy rain as we head into this evening and through the overnight hours. Our live Lehigh tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, we're still in the upper 60s, so it feels pretty good outside when you walk outside temperature-wise. And notice those winds, very, very light. 72 Wilkes-Barre Scranton International Airport, 70 degrees in Mount Pocono, 68 degrees in State College, holding in the lower 70s in the Wyoming Valley area. So we started out the day really not much going on, but boy, we got a heck of a lot of rain throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're going to see some decent amounts of rainfall. It's going to be pretty good on a high side across eastern Pennsylvania, but notice where the heavier bands are. Look at these yellows and oranges indicating some very intense rainfall rates coming in, and this is where the heaviest of rain in terms of the amounts will be falling central Pennsylvania and a little bit out toward the west. But nevertheless, we're going to see some pretty healthy amounts of rain, which I'll show you in a little bit. We stay mild through tonight, but then it's really going to start to cool down for the rest of this week. Notice as we go into an early morning Thursday, upper 40s, lower 50s. Again, heavier rain out toward the central parts. Could be looking at 2.5, 3 or so inches of rain for our viewing area. Generally maybe about 1.5, 2, possibly even 2.5 inches of rain. So definitely a good soaking rain event across our area. And in fact, pretty much the rest of this week, the weather's going to be unsettled, and there's going to be a chance of some showers in our forecast just about any day. But September, boy, it's a good one to remember because it's been relatively warm and above average on average. Extended forecasts looking like this. I really wish I could tweak it for you. Unfortunately, I can't. It's going to get cool, showers, some rain in the forecast right through the entire week and going into the weekend. Our daytime Pennsylvania lottery numbers: the pick 226, the pick 3702, the pick 41265, and the pick 585064. Treasure hunt numbers 5, 12, 15, 19, and 30. Stick around. We'll have more for you coming up after this break.
Hey neighbor, check out these great deals at Burger Mazda, Route 93, Hazleton.
2016 Mazda 6i Sport, lease it for only $189 a month. 2016 Mazda CX-5 Sport, lease it for only $249 a month. 2016 Mazda CX-3 Sport all-wheel drive, lease it for $249 a month.
Test drive a Mazda today at Burger Mazda, Route 93, Hazleton.
Burger Family Dealerships, drive with experience. There is something new to look for at your local Sure Save supermarket. And quite frankly, when it comes to quality and price for your food, it's the best yet. The best yet means hundreds of items packaged at the peak of perfection and priced for the family budget. Look for the best yet label at your locally owned Sure Save supermarket. When you see it, be assured of the great taste at a great price whenever you need it. From canned to fresh to frozen for quality products at a better price. The best yet, now at your local Sure Save supermarket.
Well, Avenues of Pottsville has a new location here in the greater Hazleton area. The official grand opening took place today, and our Julie Stefanovich has the details.
Avenues of Pottsville is a nonprofit organization which provides services to people living with disabilities. It has been a staple in Schuylkill County since 1952 and now has made a new home in Hazleton. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held today for the Vocational Employment Services facility at 600 South Poplar Street.
Well, there's some small parts packaging. We're fortunate that we partnered with Sargent Arts and we package paints for them. We also do some assembly of molds for Viking Injector. Occasionally we'll have rework from Michaels. One of our biggest clients, we have a shredding business. One of our biggest clients was Service Electric, and we're taking work at any time.
When the United Rehabilitation Services closed its doors last June, many of the displaced workers and their families asked Avenues to take over. Rather than pursuing ownership, Avenues created a new program. Nearly 50 former URS workers are now gainfully employed at the facility.
I like it very much. I made a lot of friends here. I do paints, all different kind of jobs. Paints, snap lids, paper.
I am happy to be back working in the facility that pay money and helping out the community here in PA, and I got great friends here, good people I'm working with, and I just love doing the job here.
I like Avenues. I like all my friends and staff, and I love you guys. And you always catch me when I fall. They always trying to help me if I need more work.
The vocational program has been up and running for the last year, and a new adult day program is also being launched.
It's more about exploring your community, learning self-preservation skills, daily living skills. So it's an adult program, usually for a person that doesn't want to work or doesn't feel they need to work. It's another way of connecting with the community.
Hill City Church, also located on Poplar Street, has been partnering with its new neighbors.
Basically, we work together with Avenues here at Hill City Church, and we have some shared space, and it's been great to work together at how they get to walk through, we get to work together throughout the week, because we at Hill City believe that you get to work together with businesses around the community.
To find out more about the program, you can contact them at 570-501-1005. In Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Stay with us. Eric's back with sports after this.
It always feels good to pull my own part. Saves a lot of money, too.
I've never actually pulled it before, but I think it's time.
It's environmentally conscious, and it can be a lot of fun.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer who's up for an adventure, then come out to Harry's You Pull It. Pull your own quality recycled auto parts for up to 90% off the cost of buying new. Savings like that'll keep more money in the bank, which could lead to even greater fun. Harry's You Pull It. WeGotUsed.com.
The Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce provides valuable information, services, and networking opportunities to their members, improving the business climate and quality of life in Greater Hazleton. Keep up with current chamber events by liking them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, or their online calendar of events at hazletonchamber.org. Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce, helping enhance the quality of life in the Greater Hazleton area. For more information, visit their website or contact their friendly staff at 570-455-1509.
As long as the Yankees have had a minor league presence in northeastern Pennsylvania, Dave Miley has been a constant presence in the dugout. Not anymore. After a great run, Miley will not return for a 10th season as manager of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre baseball franchise. The name changed from the Yankees to the Rail Riders, but the leader did not. In 9 years, Miley notched 7 winning seasons, 6 International League North Division titles, a Governor's Cup championship, 2 International League Manager of the Year awards, and an induction into the International League Hall of Fame. In 2015, the Rail Riders were swept in the first round of the playoffs. No word yet on Miley's next move or potential managerial replacements in music. We knew NASCAR would be returning to Pocono Raceway in 2016. Now we know when. Today, the track announced the dates for 2 appearances next year. The Tricky Triangle will host a NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race, the Exalta We Paint Winners 400, on Sunday, June 5th, 2016, and also the first ever Xfinity Series race at Pocono that Saturday. The next Sprint Cup race will be the Pennsylvania 400, held on July 31st, 2016, with a Truck Series and ARCA race earlier in the weekend. NASCAR has been coming to Long Pond since 1974. Last year, Martin Truex Jr. and Matt Kenseth won the main 2 races at Pocono. Our high school football power rankings no longer consist of solely unbeaten teams. 4 weeks in, we unveiled the WYLN top 7 schools from the Wyoming Valley Conference and Anthracite League. Blue Mountain number 7 managed over 330 yards of total offense against Lee Heighton, who you'll see later, but couldn't stop the Indians on defense, resulting in their first loss of 2015. Number 6 Berwick couldn't manage anything in their rivalry matchup against Wyoming Valley West besides a fumble return for a touchdown and another tough test for the Dogs this week versus unbeaten Selinsgrove. Lake Lehman comes in at number 5 and officially the real deal. The Black Knights not only knocked off defending district champ Old Forge, but they made it look easy. 392 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns, the numbers against the Devils. Williamsport, our number 4, continuing to say hi to the haters. The Millionaires, really dangerous on offense, put up 42 against Hazleton and averaging 42 a night this season. Number 3, Jim Thorpe, in the same situation as last year with an undefeated start and an excellent defense, but it will be the last 3 games of the season that are the truest test for the Olympians. Lee Heighton, part of that group in the last 3 games. They're ranked 52 in the state and are number 2. The Indians have beaten 2 of the Anthracite's best in the past 2 weeks and now face perennial power Governor Mifflin out of Berks County. And as consistent and dominant as they come, Wyoming Valley West at the top. The Spartans didn't allow an offensive point to Berwick and put up 34 against what was considered one of the best defenses in the area. Valley West poised to stay at that number 1 spot. Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbachik is in with a final look at the forecast.
Your body was made to move, fluidly and with ease. If the need for joint replacement surgery has stopped you in your tracks, it's time for a plan that can put you back in motion faster. The area's most experienced surgeons, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
What you see is what you get, and we've got a lot of rain heading in our direction through tonight, through even tomorrow, and then some leftover showers, and then some more rain as we progress through the ending part of this week going into the weekend. Keep the umbrella handy. It's been a long time since we've seen rain like this, and now we're getting it, and we're going to be looking at some cooler temperatures. Lower 50s for highs, lower 40s for lows.
It's getting cold out, Joe. I don't like it.
It's a good observation. I don't either. I don't think none of us do.
So all this rain coming in, it's been very dry lately. So is there going to be a problem with flooding or anything?
There's no flood watches in effect, but the ground's been relatively dry. We haven't had much rain, so.
What would the Bloomsbury Fair week be without rain?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Take the umbrella. Enjoy it anyway. Go for the food.
All right. And it looks like it's going to rain continue the week. So Football Friday's in question now.
We'll see. Pittston hosting Hazleton this week. We hope to be there, but rain, we're hoping holds off at least a little bit for Friday night.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Good night.